Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. Beretta 9mm USA here, and today we're going to be bringing you a new Walther review. This is a Walther CCP M2 in 380. Very attractive looking pistol here, very nicely finished. And that review is coming up next.
Alright guys, the Walther CCP M2 in 380. Let's see how this thing shoots. First rounds here. Got it loaded with some SIG V Crown 380 jacketed hollow points. That's all we're going to be shooting today through this because we don't have any standard FMJs. I think I missed my last round, but really smooth recoil impulse.
We shot 240 rounds of Sig Sauer's Elite Performance ammunition during this review, and the Walther CCP had zero malfunctions, right, young brother?
100%. It was amazing.
I was very, very impressed. If you guys have been watching the channel for any length of time whatsoever, you know that I have bad luck with 380s. And this one was the exception to the rule. When it started out shooting very well, I was hopeful that it would be the exception to the rule. It was a true joy to shoot at the range. The 240 rounds that we fired through this gun were all V-Crown ammunition, so they were all hollow points from SIG. And again, 100% proficient in its use. No problems whatsoever. It was truly a joy to shoot at the range. Also, it comes with two decent magazines here, guys. These magazines are not only very heavy duty looking and ready to be used for years and years and years, but they were the easiest to load 380 magazines that I have ever used. So if you're looking for something that's also easy to load, this Walther CCP in 380 does that too. So guys, this Walther CCP 380, it looks like it's the 966th one they made off the assembly line. I can tell you right now, absolutely love the grip. It's another one of those favorites of mine. I have a lot of experience with the other CCP in 9mm, so I'm kind of curious on how nice this will be. I don't have a good history with reliable 380s, so let's see if that will finally change. Got to come out a long way for the reset. Long way for the reset. Otherwise, it'd be a very fast pistol. Very little recoil as expected, I think, as opposed to the Ruger LCP 380 and the Glock 42. They both have a lot more felt recoil. This one's a little bit larger handgun. The only thing I don't like about it is how far you have to come back for the reset. Almost letting your finger all the way out right there. Yeah, it's almost all the way out when it resets. But it's very accurate and very reliable.
Yeah.
I was just shooting at the center target.
Nice.
And that's two magazines from this gun because that target was not shot beforehand. So
yep,
can
so
you get it done with
one.
a 380? I'd say with this one, the answer is definitely yes. And for the first time, I shot a couple magazines through a 380 pistol and did not have a bunch of malfunctions. So is it the V-Crown ammunition? Not sure. I'm going to do a follow-up on the LCP and the Glock 42 with V-Crown. If this thing shoots absolutely flawless today, I'll do a follow-up on those using just V-Crown ammo and see how they behave. I still have both those guns. I haven't gotten rid of them. So
yeah.
Anyway.
The big thing is, I think that with the 380, you shouldn't cheap out on the ammo. You should buy and shoot what you're going to shoot with in self-defense. Buy self-defense ammunition to train with.
And see if it runs 100% on it, and then just stay with that. Yeah, I think that's reasonable.
Yep.
All right, here's the magazines in the gun themselves. Again, they're an 8-round magazine, which is fairly good capacity considering you can go 8 plus 1. So there's that wonderful Walther grip. The texture is terrific. Absolutely fantastic. Don't worry about this little hump here. It doesn't bother you at all. When you wrap your fingers right there, it feels great. Great control over this handgun when you're shooting it, guys. And I do like the way that this end piece melds into the rest of the grip frame. Terrific job by Walther on that. It has a 3.5-inch fixed barrel design. So again, whenever you have a fixed barrel design, I'm gonna have to put the magazine in for this because it does have a magazine disconnect, which is the only feature we don't like. Anyway, with the magazine disconnect, the magazine is now in place right now. So you cannot really push this pistol too far out of battery. You still can get a little tiny bit of movement with the fixed barrel design. And with that, the pistol still goes off. So something to keep in mind for close contact like shots. If you're wrestling on the ground with a bad guy, you should be able to shove that into him and still shoot him with the handgun.
There we go. 100% reliable so far. First two mags. And by the way, guys, we're shooting from 15 yards away with the CCP M2. Real quick, I'm going to show you this. This is my only gripe with the gun. Safety off. Mag out of the pistol, nothing. We have a round, currently a live round, in the chamber right now. So this pistol does have a magazine disconnect, which is unfortunate, but, you know, the magazine disconnect feature, I kind of don't like it, but neither here nor there. There might be some import restrictions, that's why they had to put it on the gun. So let's see how this shoots some more. I'm gonna shoot it faster here. I totally hit the magazine right there when I shot it fast and caused a little bit of a stovepipe right there. Felt myself hit it out of the corner because it's kind of not protected by the frame, so I hit it with my shooting hand right there. There we go. 100% other than me causing a user-induced malfunction. Magazines are easy to load too, right?
I like it, yeah.
Yep.
They're very well made, they're very well spaced in the back. And yeah, they are. They're very easy to load. I'm very surprised that they're this easy to load. So Walther, again, you know, using their head and coming out with something that really works well.
Yep. Did you hold the slide release down?
Must have.
Yep.
Must have. Yeah, I like the way it shoots. Once you get used to the longest reset, you gotta let that trigger up quite a bit.
You just gotta treat it like a revolver, dude.
Yeah, it's good though. Let's see how we do left-handed here. It's got such a long trigger pull that in left-handed I was pulling it and stopping, pulling it and stopping, and then the gun went off. I like it. It's enjoyable.
Yeah.
And 100% reliable, which I've never had a 380 be 100% reliable. So I'm done with it for today, but the CCP ran flawlessly for me.
Yep.
I'm very happy. You're up one last time?
Yep.
All right.
The 380 and the 9mm CCP M2 we think are a huge win.
Yeah.
Yep.
This barrel comes with a polished feed ramp, which you're really not gonna be able to see in there, but it is polished from the factory, which is really, really nice. Also, it is covered in a black Cerakote. Very tactical if you ask me. It looks good, Does not look cheap at all. Looks very well done and very well finished. For this price of a handgun, I thought it looked very nice in the way the pistol came out. It's got these front cocking serrations over here, which have a little bit of sharpness to them, but I don't think you're going to cut yourself at all. But easy enough to use, right? This one is tremendously easy to manipulate the slide with 2 fingers. So those of you that aren't real strong in the hand won't have any problems operating the slide on this CCP. The recoil, because it is a gas-operated piston design, is fairly light for a 380. I've fired some 380s that would make you think you're shooting a 9mm. And this one is not that way. It is quite a bit lighter than any 9mm handgun of its size. And it's also a lighter recoil than most 380s of its size, which is something to keep in mind. It does have a manual safety right here, guys. This is the deal. I just leave them off. Can you accidentally put them on? Sure. So you do have to remember how to manipulate it if that does happen. I am not a fan of these safeties unless it's on a 1911, and that's a totally different case. But it is there. I do want to tell you about it. It does take a little bit of a flick to get it on and off, but it's not impossible for it to maybe be put on accidentally. So it's something for you to consider in your buying decision.
If this is going to be your main concealed carry pistol, what we suggest is that you practice a sweeping motion every time that you're about to use this pistol. If you're pulling it out, like, you know, practicing as far as a draw or anything like that, you practice as if the safety is on, or practice with it already on, and just get proficient in using it as far as in that fashion.
It does have a small little external extractor right there. It is set up for if you want to put a light or something on here, or a laser or something, you could do that. The overall fit and finish is quite good for a pistol in this price range. And of course, the Walther name, I think it holds up to those type of qualities. The cutout in the trigger well area is probably large enough for gloved hands, I would think, considering I can get that much of my finger in there. So let's talk about the trigger real quick. Here's the take up. I mean, you're feeling resistance from almost the very beginning. You've got resistance and stuff. There is some stacking involved. Yeah, there's a bit of stacking involved till you get to the back, and then it just breaks. The thing about this gun, again, very self-defense oriented gun. If you're gonna pull this trigger, it's not gonna go off on accident. You're gonna be pulling all the way through the trigger to get the gun to go off. Show you what the reset is like. Out, out, out. Right there. So I'm gonna now that you know where it's at, I'm gonna go ahead and let it out all the way so you can see what the difference is, because I'm at the beginning of the wall here. So almost all the way. And then again, coming back, stacking.
As far as the trigger and its reset, treat it like it's a double action revolver. That's what I would do. And just all the way out, you know, because its reset is pretty much all the way out. What do you think, Brandon, here?
I agree, it is. And I think that's what we were doing with it in the filming. I think we were just slapping it, pulling it hard all the way back to make it go off. It was still fairly accurate, especially for a CCW type handgun that you should be using around 10 meters or less. 6.11. So yeah, right around 6.5 to 6.10. So under 7 pounds. You know, I'm thinking also it'll probably smooth out over time, guys.
Yeah, break in for sure.
Yeah, so between the cost, the capabilities, and what it brings to the table, I think it's a screaming bargain for what it is. And then as you shoot it, I think the trigger will probably start to break in. If it ends up being somewhere around 6.2 or whatever, 6.2 at the very end after you put the 500 rounds through it, I think you're in good shape. But it does have some stacking effect, and I do want you to know that.
And speaking of the price, you haven't mentioned the price yet. The MSRP on this pistol is $469, and I saw it online for $330.
I'm thinking, yeah, you'll be able to find them quite easily around the $350 to $360 range. And if you are into 380s at all, for $350 or $360, I think this thing is probably a screaming bargain. You consider everything you have here one of the best grips in the business. You will be very comfortable and loving the feeling of this handgun when you're shooting it. Very easy to control the recoil on it, and follow-up shots were a breeze, even though the trigger needs some work or you need some practice with the trigger. This is definitely not one that you should stay away from.
Last mag here, a little bit of single hand. Try to limp wrist it a little bit here. No problems at all. It's one hell of a gun, guys. The Walther CCP M2 380, living up to the 9mm in reliability and performance. Overall, just really nice.
Yeah, guys, this one ran 100% for us. No problems, no issues at all. This is a first for a 380 for me to run so perfect. Not only that, but from 15 yards away, as you can tell right here, this pistol was pretty friggin' accurate.
And another thing, it is enjoyable to shoot, which is important for any gun, really, especially if it's going to be a self-defense handgun and training with it and using it in defense. It's easy to use.
Yep, that and the magazines were awesome. The mags were easy to load,
yep,
which is another thing you don't run into all the time. All right, guys, thanks for watching the video. Now back to the tabletop. So guys, in closing this video, we highly recommend this pistol, especially for a concealed carry option if you're in the market for a 380 type pistol. We were surprised by the overall quality and performance of the Walther CCP M2, and it is chambered in 380. So if you prefer that, this is one of the guns you should be considering. It performs better than most pistols in its class. And one last note, don't forget Walther's legendary lifetime warranty. Young Beretta and I have actually used that warranty before in the past, and they stood up and replaced a handgun for us. This was a couple of years ago, and so we're fans of it. We think the warranty is outstanding. The company immediately took ownership of the gun, replaced the gun immediately, and we were very happy customers. So we can tell you that the warranty is fantastic. I hope you guys enjoyed this review video. If you're interested in this Walther CCP M2 or anything else available from Walther Arms, go ahead and check out their products on their website. As always, everyone, thanks for watching the video. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to our channel here on YouTube, Beretta 9mm USA, for more guns and gear videos coming up in the future.